Pie in the sky. Could it happen? It could. Will it happen? Probably not. It's going to stop me from talking about it? Nope. And of course, we got to get ready for the upcoming series that starts today up against those Cincinnati Reds. But first, I hit you with that intro. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mike Jones back again with another episode of Chicago Cubs Central. And hey, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but yes, I am rocking the official Chicago Cubs Central merch. That's right, Chicago Cubs Central t-shirts. We got them. So if it is something that you are interested in, you can go ahead and let your boy know in the comments, and we can reach out and get something set up. If you are interested in the Chicago Cubs Central t-shirts, you want to rock these t-shirts and let everybody know who the number one spot for all things Chicago Cubs is, right here. Chicago Cubs Central, baby. You know how we do. Now, with that being said, please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome in. Please be a part of the C3 family. That's right, Chicago Cubs Central family by making sure that you like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate each and every last one of you that have subscribed. Shout out to all my new subscribers. Hey, y'all, how you doing? And again, thank you all for tuning in and watching another episode of this channel. And we're talking about the team that we all love. That's right. The boys in blue, the Chicago Cubs, had an off day yesterday, but they are on their way. Actually, they're already there in Cincinnati to go up against those Cincinnati Reds. First time this season. Now, the Chicago Cubs will go up against the Cincinnati Reds, and they will send Matthew Boyd out to the mound, who has a 4-2 record with a 2.98 ERA, a 1.23 WHIP, and 51.1 innings pitched, going up against Hunter Green, who is also 4-2, has a 2.36 ERA, a WHIP of 0.81, and he has pitched 45 innings. So it's not going to be easy. Like I said, hits may be at a minimum in this game. Obviously, Kyle Tucker and Pete Crow Armstrong are both leading the Chicago Cubs in home runs right now, both having 12. Ellie De La Cruz leads the Cincinnati Reds in home runs. He has 8. Like I said, Nico Horner obviously has the best batting average on our team, and our runs batted in are is led by the Central. The National League leader in runs batted in, Seiya Suzuki, with 43. So the Chicago Cubs pull in the Great American Ballpark. It is a hitter-friendly park. One person that has thrived at this park ever since I can remember watching him play there has been Ian Happ. I remember one game, Ian Happ, I think, hit 2 home runs in the same game at this ballpark. He mashes at the Cincinnati Reds ballpark. So I look forward to him having a big weekend. That's right. Ian Happ needs to have a big weekend. So we'll do Matthew Boyd versus Hunter Green on Friday. That start time is 5:40. And then we will do Colin Ray versus Abbott. That'll be the Saturday matchup. That Saturday matchup is at 3:10 p.m. It's Colin Ray going up against Abbott. Both of these guys are 3-0. 2.38 ERA for Ray and a 1.80 ERA for Abbott. Yeah, so we'll just have to see what happens, man. These are going to be some good matchups. Might see a lot of pitching duels here this weekend, and it looks like runs will be, at a premium. And then, of course, we round out the series at 12:40 on Sunday. It'll be Ben Brown going up against Lodalo. And it'll Ben Brown posts a record of 3-3 with and Lodalo posts a record of 4-4. Ben Brown's ERA is 5.44. Meanwhile, Lodalo's ERA is 3.22. So another series, another opportunity for the Chicago Cubs to bolster their grip that they have on the Central Division right now. Like I said, and hopefully they are able to do so. I look forward to the Chicago Cubs coming out and showing a division rival that this is our time. That's right. We got the best player in the Central Division in Kyle Tucker, and we have the best team in the Central Division in the Chicago Cubs. And I just want the Chicago Cubs to come out and again put their stamp on this game. One thing Kyle Tucker mentioned the other day in his interview with Taylor McGregor was that he loves how on this team, if when he's struggling or he's not able to do something, the rest of the team is able to pick each other up and other guys are able to rake. So, I mean, it's just really one of those things where this club has so many options and so many opportunities. And it's really a great thing to watch because offense has been at a minimum for the Chicago Cubs for so many years. And now I feel like this year we're just offensively exploding on teams and just showing teams that we really are for real. And I mean, I just again, you can't overstate enough just how much this team is for real. And it's gonna be very important over the next couple of weeks for us to continue to remind the rest of the Central Division and the rest of these teams we're going to play that the Chicago Cubs are for real. This is not a game. We are for real this season, and this is a year where we are going to take the Central Division. So, with all that being said, no better time than the present than for the Chicago Cubs on Friday to do that to the Cincinnati Reds. Now, with that being said, I want to talk a little pie in the sky. I want to talk about another division rival. I want to talk about those Pittsburgh Pirates. Pittsburgh Pirates, who have literally just fired their manager not too long ago. The Pittsburgh Pirates that have one of the best pitchers in all of baseball, but literally cannot seem to put the pieces around him to be successful. In his latest outing, he pitched 8 innings of shutout baseball and lost that game because his team failed to score at all. So like I said, it's unfair, it's unfortunate. Like I said, it's messed up. Their record right now, the Pittsburgh Pirates are 17-33 on the season. Now, I'm going to preface this statement that I'm about to say by telling you guys the Pittsburgh Pirates have already made it known they are not trading Paul Skenes. They are not. They plan to keep him. They plan to build a team around him so that they can have him there for a very, very long time as their pitcher, as a captain and a leader on their team. Do I think Paul Skenes is going to sign another contract with the Pittsburgh Pirates? Hell no. Hell no. And if Paul Skenes could leave today and go play somewhere else, he absolutely would. Could Paul Skenes potentially force his way out of Pittsburgh? Absolutely. Could Paul Skenes want to come and play for a division rival, a big city, a team that is on the brink, on the cusp of being one of the major players in the MLB? Sure, why not? And no, I'm not talking about the Los Angeles Dodgers. No, I'm not talking about playing for the Houston Astros. No, I'm not talking about playing for the Philadelphia Phillies. No, I'm not talking about playing for the San Francisco Giants. I'm talking about the Chicago Cubs swinging for the fences again and nabbing one of the best pitchers in baseball. That's right. Paul Skenes is under team control, I believe, for another 2 to 3 years. The Chicago Cubs would have to give up a great haul of prospects in order to nab Skenes, but it is not without it is not out of the realm of possibility that something like this is going to happen. Now, I preface this again by telling you guys, I do not think that this will happen, but hey, we can dream, right? It's an off day, well, not an off day. We're coming off an off day, so we don't have anything to talk about. So we can talk about the potential of the Chicago Cubs trading for Paul Skenes. Bleacher Report walk-off hinted out this key trade that the Chicago Cubs potentially could offer to the Pittsburgh Pirates to try to gain the services of Paul Skenes. What would that trade look like, Mike? Well, I'll tell you. The Chicago Cubs get Paul Skenes. The Pittsburgh Pirates get third baseman Matt Shaw, right-hand pitcher Cade Horton, and outfielder Owen Casey in that trade for Paul Skenes. Now, tell me just based off of that, before I tell you what I think, would you do that deal? Comment below. Was this a deal that you would do? Would you try to maximize Paul Skenes would you try to maximize trading for Paul Skenes, who is under team control and has already established himself as one of the best pitchers in baseball? Would you want to do this deal? Is this something that you would want to see? Or do you think I'm absolutely batshit crazy? Because I think I'm absolutely batshit crazy, but, that's just me. But, yeah, I know. I mean, like I said, I do not think this is going to happen. I'll repeat it again. I do not think this is going to happen. I do not see a time or a lifetime where the Pittsburgh Pirates would trade Paul Skenes to a division rival, even if that division rival was giving them 3 top 5 prospects in their system for this ace of a pitcher. But could you just imagine Paul Skenes, Justin Steele, Shota Imanaga, Cade Horton, or I'm sorry, not Cade Horton. You're trading Cade Horton. So you do Paul Skenes, you do Shota Imanaga, you do Justin Steele, you do Jameson Taillon, and then you do Matthew Boyd as your 5, with Colin Ray getting spot starts, or if guys go down with injury. I mean, that's a 5 that can definitely take you to the World Series. That's a 5 that teams would not want to have to see and not have to play hit against. That would be something amazing. Once again, I do not think it would happen. But should the Chicago Cubs have offered a deal like that? I mean, I guess it really depends on who you get to play third base. Because you're already replacing Cade. And technically, if you sign Kyle Tucker to a 10-year extension, that basically takes Owen Casey out the deal anyways. Because you still got team control of a Pete Armstrong for years to come, too. So unless you plan on not re-signing Ian Happ on his next deal, you're pretty much set in the outfield, too. So to me, what you're giving up, you're already replacing Cade Horton, who is a proven pitcher, great pitcher. You're replacing him with even better pitching in Paul Skenes. And then on top of that, like I said, if you're able to go out and get a veteran third baseman, that takes pressure off of Matt Shaw. He can go to Pittsburgh and figure things out. And then if you sign Kyle Tucker and you re-sign PCA, you don't have a spot for him, for Owen Casey. So to me, this is a great deal, actually. I know people are going to say you're giving up too much in this deal. I understand that. But at the same time, you got to look at the sustainability. Now, obviously, if I sign a deal like this, I'm also looking at Paul Skenes like, I'm going to need you to re-sign with me too. So we'll just have to see what happens. I do not think this trade is going to happen. Again, that's why this episode is titled Pie in the Sky. I do not foresee this happening. However, should it happen, I would not be upset about it at all because Paul Skenes is a stud. If I'm the Pittsburgh Pirates, I would take a deal like this because they have to know Paul Skenes is not staying there. Paul Skenes is one of the most familiar faces in the MLB. Outside of the Los Angeles Dodgers and Shohei Ohtani, people love to drool over Paul Skenes. He is going to be a darling in this league for years to come. So if that's the case, you might as well, if you know you ain't gonna be able to re-sign them, you might as well go ahead and rake what you can and take what you can and get, So what's your guys' thoughts on the comment below? Comment below in this Red Series. How many games you think the Chicago Cubs are going to take in this Red Series this weekend? And would you make this deal for Paul Skenes? Remember, guys, that you can leave comments below, but you can also leave a voice message at 217-816-5498 or at cubsbaseball1992@gmail.com. Write me an email, and I will read it out here on the show. I appreciate each and every last one of you. Hey, all of my new subscribers, appreciate you guys so much. Thanks so much for tuning in to this episode. Hopefully you keep coming back, tuning in to more. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much. Until next time, it's been fun. It's been real. We'll talk tomorrow about the Chicago Cubs versus the Cincinnati Reds and what they could do to get better. Appreciate you guys. Peace.
Thank you for watching another episode of Chicago Cubs Central, the #1 spot for all Chicago Cubs content. Remember to like, share, subscribe for more Cubs content.